The World is Too Much with Us, written by William Wordsworth. As you know, William Wordsworth, 1770 to 1850, was one of the major romantic poets of England. A poet laureate, Wordsworth is considered to be one of the driving forces behind the Romantic movement. He, along with S.T. Coleridge, composed preface to the lyrical ballads, which is the acknowledged manifesto of the Romantic movement. Wordsworth conceived of the poetic arts as the breadth and finer spirit of all knowledge, and defined poetry as the outcome of the spontaneous overflow of powerful emotions recollected in tranquility. He also advocated that in poetry, incidents and situations from common life should be described in the language of common men and women, and not in elevated and obscure terms. He was in favor of liberal ideas of sincerity and democracy. As far as the poem is concerned, The World is Too Much with Us is one of the many excellent sonnets Wordsworth wrote in the early 1800s. The poem criticizes the decadent material cynicism of the time that made man insensitive towards the beauty of nature. The poet expresses his dislike for contemporary civilization and praises the primitive religion of nature worship. The speaker complains that the modern age has lost its connection to nature and everything meaningful. We are so preoccupied with material goods that we have lost touch with the spiritual and natural world. This idea finds expression in the famous lines Getting and Spending. In this poem, getting and spending, we waste our powers. Little we see in nature that is ours. The poet believes that we have given our hearts away in exchange for money and material things. In the end, the speaker proposes a solution to the problem. That solution is he wishes he could be a pagan so that he could worship nature as God and so gain spiritual solace. His thunderous great God indicates the power of his wish. In Christian England, one did not often wish to be a pagan. The poet would prefer to be in harmony with nature that follow a religion that separates him from nature. I will repeat this line again. The poet would prefer to be in harmony with nature than follow a religion that separates him from nature. On the whole, this sonnet presents the familiar Wordsworthian theme of communion with nature and states precisely how far the early 18th century was from nature. The sonnet is remarkable for its rhetorical force. Now, students, we would we will go line by line and we will understand the concept the theme which is advocated through this poem by the great romantic poet William Wordsworth. I read the poem. The world is too much with us, late and soon. Getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away, a sordid moon. This sea that bears her bosom to the moon, the winds that will be howling at all hours, and are up gathered now like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. It moves us not, great God, I would rather be a pagan, suckled in a creed outworn. So might I, standing on this pleasant lea, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn, have sight of Praetus rising from the sea, oh, hear old Triton blow his wreathed horn. A very beautiful sonnet. Now we will simplify and understand the meaning of the poem, meaning of the lines of this poem. So let's again start. The world is too much with us, late and soon. Getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. We see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away a sordid boon. This sea that bears her bosom to the moon. Okay. The world is too much with us, late and soon. Getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Wordsworth wants to explain that the world means materialism. The world means the worldly way of life, that is materialism. He says that in this world, later or sooner, we are overpowered by the materialistic feelings and we lose connection with the nature, with the spiritualism. Getting and spending, we lay waste our powers, and in this worldly life, in this world of materialism, we keep ourselves busy in getting, in earning money more and more, and spending and spending. And in this way, Wordsworth wants to emphasize that we are wasting our power. We are not understanding the meaning of life. The real meaning of life is that we should have a balance between our needs and our living in harmony with nature. We should have a balance between materialism and spiritualism, and that is the real way of living the life. But actually, what happens in contrary, we are lost in the materialistic world. In this materialistic world, we keep on earning like machine, and then spending and spending in a wasteful manner. Actual meaning of life is that the basic needs of life should be fulfilled, and we should utilize that resources in a very wise and meaningful manner, and we should live happily in harmony with nature. And also we have the feeling of spiritualism. Further, Wordsworth says, little we see in nature that is ours. He says, we have given hearts away, a sordid boon. Sordid means unpleasant, immoral, bad, and boon means gift, something that is useful. Actually, this life is a gift given to us by the Almighty God, and we are not treating this gift as a gift. The gift is wonderful, but the gift becomes sordid, the gift becomes immoral, the gift becomes bad when we don't use this in a proper manner, in the sense that we are making ourselves over busy, busy in a very, very excessive manner in earning, and spending in a like a foolish. So in this way, this boon is called a sordid boon. The boon which was wonderful, but we use it as a sordid boon. This sea that bears her bosom to the moon, the winds that will be howling at all hours and are gathered now like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. This sea, William Wordsworth now is lost in nature, is lost in the beauty of nature. His feelings shifts now to the nature, and he watches that sea in the night time opens its bosom to the moon in the moonlit night. If we visit to the seashore, we will find what a beautiful scene. The sea is opening its bosom to the moon. Very wonderful, very beautiful sight. And there, at that time, at that time of hour, in the cool and calm night, when sea is calm and moonlight is there, everything is wonderful. In that fashion, suddenly the wind starts, and the sound of howling sound comes, and sleeping, it is compared to a sleeping flower. The whole scene is compared just like a sleeping flower. And Wordsworth is very much impressed with the beauty of this scene, and he says that we human beings, we we have lost vision, we have no heart to enjoy this type of beauty and so many other type of beauties in nature. We are actually out of tune with the nature, with mind, with physical and our mental power, energy we are wasting in earning in materialistic activities. For the beauties of nature, we have no time, we have no mind, we have no heart, we have no feeling to enjoy. So, Wordsworth is very sad on this, and he says, "It moves us not, great God." And he says with astonishment that all such beauties of nature are unable to impress us human beings, and we are out of tune with this. And he says, "Oh great God, I am unable to bear this. What a pathetic condition of human beings. They are so much lost in materialism that they are totally away from nature, natural beauties. Actually, that's really unbearable." So, out of sorrow, out of sadness, he says that he would prefer to become a pagan. What is a pagan? A pagan means someone who worships nature and not Christ or any other god with human characteristics. Pagan means someone who worships nature and not Christ or any other god with human characteristics. So here Wordsworth prefers to be a pagan, suckled in a creed outworn. Creed means customs, traditions. Outworn means that is not in fashion, that is dead. So Even he wants to go to that extent that the outward customs, that is to pray, to pray nature and things in natural form. He wants to be like that. He doesn't want to worship even Christ. He prefers to worship nature than Christ. So, if he prefers to be a pagan, and if he will be a pagan, then he will be able to enjoy the natural beauty. He says, so might I, standing on this pleasant lea. Pleasant lea. Lea means an open area of grassy or cultivable land. So he wants to be a pagan so that it may be possible for him to enjoy the natural beauty of a open grassy area which is so beautiful in the nature. He would like to stand on the lea and he will keep on watching for hours and hours. He will be enjoying that beauty. And further, he says, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn. And this natural vision, this natural sight of enjoying grassy land, the beauty of grassy land, he will be then less tired, because this life related activities make human beings tired, and burdensome activities make him very, very forlorn, very tired. So he will get relief through watching natural beauty. And further he says, have sight of Praetus rising from the sea, or hear all Titan blow his wreath horn. Here Proteus and Triton and Proteus, these are two sea gods. Proteus, one of the early gods of rivers and oceanic bodies in Greek mythology, and Triton in Greek mythology, the messenger of the seas. So he wants to be a pagan and he wants to worship these two sea gods. In other words, he wants to worship nature and natural things, and he wants to enjoy nature. So the conclusion of the poem is that the materialistic world is too much with us. In this life, which is a wonderful gift to us given by God, the Creator, we should use it as a gift and not as something sordid boon. And how this can be possible? This can be possible if we make a sort of balance between materialism and spiritualism, and we spare time for enjoying the beauties of nature. We should learn to live this life in harmony with nature. Then these things may be possible. Now let's go through some textual questions. According to the poet, what is the man's attitude to nature? According to the poet, man's attitude to nature is not a balanced one. Man has lost eye to nature. Man has lost heart for nature. He has gone away. He, he has lost in materialistic activities excessively. He has no time for the nature. Who was Proteus and Triton? Proteus was one of the early gods of rivers and ocean bodies in Greek mythology. Triton, also in Greek mythology, the messenger of the seas. Why does the poet want to become a pagan? The poet wants to become a pagan so that he can worship nature, he can worship the things, the forms in nature, and in this way he can enjoy the beauties of nature. In this way, he can make a balance between spiritualism and materialism. What does the poet mean by stating the world is too much with us? The world is too much with us means that we have lost in materialistic activities excessively. Worldism means materialism, means money making. We we spend our time, we waste our life like money making machines. We keep on earning, we keep on earning, and this make us excessively greedy for money and for materialism. And that's why the poet comments that the world is too much with us. What are we out of tune with? We are out of tune with the beauties of nature. What is the sordid boon? Sordid means immoral. Boon means gift. These contradictory words. Actually, the gift is supposed to be very wonderful, is supposed to be very valuable, and that is there. The boon means this human life, which the Creator, the Almighty, the God has given us as a gift, but we are using it in a foolishly manner. We are wasting our energy and time, and in this way, our life in materialistic activities, and we lose our connection with nature, with spiritualism, and in this way we are totally lost in materialism. So in this sense the poet has commented that that so the life, the gift in form of life was wonderful, and that is sordid now. That has become sordid, immoral, and bad. Next, what does the poet glimpse and what is the effect on him? The poet glimpses, the poet glimpses a beautiful scene in a pleasantly, and that makes him so less tired. It gives a relief to him. His tired body and mind gets relief. And next, what does the poet mean by world in the first line? In the first line, the word world means materialism. Worldism means earning and earning, materialistic activities. What does the poet think about the way man treats nature? How does he express his thoughts and feelings on this topic in the poem? The poet thinks that man is treating nature in a very foolish manner. Man is wasting his energy, man is wasting his time, and in turn his life in materialistic activities excessively. Although we can't afford with purely spiritual activities, materialistic activities are also the need of life. But where we go wrong, we make ourselves busy in earning, and then spending in a foolish manner. And in this activity, we forget nature, we forget everything that is out of the materialistic world, and excessively we are lost in materialistic activities. Actually, what is the wise thing? the wise thing to make this life meaningful, we must live this life in a fashion where our basic needs are fulfilled and we are not greedy for materialistic activities. After fulfillment of basic needs, we must have some time for the nature. We should learn to live this life in harmony with nature. And a sort of balance between materialism and spiritualism is the best way to lead the life, the best meaningful way to live this life. And then we would be able to justify that the gift, the wonderful gift that is life given to us by God is really wonderful for us, and we have honored this gift. We have really utilized this gift, and that is the best devotion, the best gratitude to the Almighty for this wonderful gift. The sonnet is a criticism of life in this modern mechanized milieu. Comment on this assessment of the poem. Yes, the sonnet is really a criticism of modern life, as we have discussed again and again that in the modern life we have become totally materialistic. We are lost in materialism. We are wasting our time and energy in earning, and then spending in a foolish manner. That's not the life. And we are totally out of tune. We have no heart for the beauties of nature. Actually, what should happen, how we should act, that is, we should make a balance between materialism and spiritualism. After earning our basic needs, we must devote our time to nature for the welfare of nature, and we should enjoy the beauties of nature, and we should live in harmony with nature. So, the poem is a real criticism of modern life. How does Wordsworth employ Greek mythology and other devices to portray the materialistic mind of modern man? Yes, he has given example from Greek mythology, and he has mentioned the names of two gods, Praetus and Triton, and in this way he has emphasized that it is better to worship nature than the God in human form, because worshipping with nature will be meaning that we are in harmony with nature and there is a sort of balance in our life. The poet prefers paganism to worldliness. Yes, again the same thing. The poet prefers paganism so that he can worship nature, he can worship natural things, and he can lead a life in harmony with the nature. And so, in this way, it's a very beautiful, very meaningful, very nice sonnet, and it is really a good comment on our modern life. Thanks a lot.